Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome. My name is Clavin, and I'm here to present to you form scripts for Dataverse. Now, why do you need form side scripting? That would be the first question that comes to your mind. So, basically, first and foremost, let me explain you form side scripting or form scripts. Form scripts are client API for model driven apps that you can use to apply custom business logic in your model driven app using JavaScript. Now, when I say that, when and why should you use it? You should understand that we also have business rules. At some point in time, the business rules might fall short. For example, if you want to access multiple tables, or if you want to go ahead and change the label of a particular column. In that case, you will use form side scripting. You might also want to use form side scripting to do things like getting and setting column values, showing and hiding user interface elements, or even go ahead and call or interact with business process flows or controls. Now, when I say that, understand this. The client API object model has to be effectively written using JavaScript code. Yes, this is a power user demo, but I'm talking about JavaScript. But don't be worried, I'm going to explain you each and everything in details. Now, when I say that, the important concept of client API object models would be the execution context, the form context, the grid context, and the XRM APIs. So what is the execution context? The execution context is basically hooked up to an event. Also understand this, the execution context is the most important for the form scripts because that gives you the entire context of the forms. When I say that, the next comes the form context. Once you have the execution context, you can go ahead and use the form context to go and get values from your forms. Similarly, you have grid context, which provides references to the grid or the subgrid. And then you have the XRM APIs, which you can use to find global objects. For example, you can create pop-ups or utilities with it. You can also go ahead and get the user context or the username and so on and so on. Now, that being said, we need to understand the form context. So as you see on the screen, the execution context is used to get the form context. Again, execution context should be the first parameter in your function. Just keep that in mind. And once you have the form context, you can access the data, entities, processes. You can also access the UI elements. So that being said, when I say that, you need something to be triggered, right? So you need a hook. So how will your JavaScript trigger and what are the hooks available? There are more than that, more hooks than you see on the screen, but as of now, just understand that you have the onload, on change, and on save. So the onload is loaded whenever the form is loaded. So whenever somebody launches the form, it loads your JavaScript and you can do some things. For example, when the form loads, you can go ahead and update a label, or you can give them an alert, etc., etc. On change usually happens when a column value has been updated and the user clicks on another control, right? And then you have the on save event. When you are done filling up the form, maybe you want to just trigger a Power Automate. In that case, you will have the on save event. So that being said, that's all the slides that I have. Let's get into the demo. So here, my friends, I have got a model-driven app. So I have the app open, right? So let me go to the solutions and let me walk you through the model-driven app. So here I have the app, and in this app or in this solution, sorry for that, in this solution, we have got two tables. The contact table is the out-of-the-box table that comes with Power Automate, and the events table is a custom table. In this event tables, I have got forms, right? And I am going to run my scripts on the main form. But before going ahead, let me quickly take you to the app. The app looks something like this. The app is pretty straightforward. I can go ahead and create events, and once the event is created, it will display like this. So let's say that let me create an event, by the way. So let me just quickly create an event, and let me tell M365 event. Let me name that M365 event. So what is the type of event? We'll say that it's an anniversary. Every year we have this event, so let's consider it as an anniversary. And when is it? It's on the 6th. And where are we going to do it? I don't have this location, so let's say that the nearest location is Wakat, right? And then who are the organizers? So let's say that my dear friend Manoranjan is the organizer. Now I can save it out here, and that's what my form will look like. Pretty simple, right? That's what it is. And if I go back, you see that I have got the M365 event. And after that, I also have the contacts table. All the contacts that you saw, such as Balas, David, as well as Mano, which is not visible, yeah, it's visible here, all were created by me. So it is just another form. So let's go back and let's apply some logic on this particular form. That is the main form. So whenever somebody clicks this form, let's say that an alert comes up and the name of the person is being displayed. How will we go ahead and do that? So to do that, I need to write a script, right? So let me open my favorite code editor and let me create a new file, right? Let me create a new file here. I'll say, let me give it a meaningful name, alertdemo.js, right? My JavaScript file is ready. So now what I want to do, I want to go ahead and prompt, or I want to go ahead and alert the name of the event. Let's say I want to alert Clavin's birthday party, or M365 event that we just created. How will we do that? Now to do that, we need to go ahead and write a script. So again, I'm going into Visual Studio Code, and the first thing that I need to do, like any other function, I need to give the function a name. So I'll say alert demo. And as I told you, the first thing that we need to pass is the execution context. So execution context. Now I have the execution context. So next what I want to do, I want to get the form context, right? I have the execution context, but I need the form context. So I'll say var form context, and I'll give it the execution context. And to that, I can say get form context. Perfect. So I have the form context with me. What next I want to do? I want to get the name of the event. So I'll say var event name equal to, and I'll then access the form context, and from the form context, I'll type in get attribute. Right? I want to get an attribute. Perfect. The attribute is there. And what attribute I want to get? I want to get the name of the event. So we'll go back, but before that, and I want to get the value of the attribute. Okay? So that is what I need to get. Now I want to access the name event, but I need to give it the name of the column. So if I go here into my table, and if I go to columns, let me see the name. So the name of the event is clav_name. So let me quickly type in that. So it's going to be clav_name, right? Perfect. So this is my script. And next what I want to do, I want to simply alert it out. So to alert it out, I'll say the event is space, and then I'll pass it the event name. And that looks good to me. So we have created our first form script. I'll take this form script, copy it. I'll not copy it, by the way. I'll save it. So I'll just go back. I'll just say file and save. So this is saved. Good, good. Now that this is saved, let me go back into my Power Apps or into the solution. And here I want to add the form script. So to add the form script, I can click on new, and I can click on more, and I need to add it as a web resource. Understand this? It's a web resource. Now next what I want to do, I want to get the path. I want to upload this file, right? So I'll say copy and I'll say reveal in File Explorer. And I'll say copy as path. It shows me a nice preview. That's good. Let me go back here. Say choose file. Just give this the alert. I'll give this the name. I'll say alert demo off. We try again. Alert demo, JavaScript. Understand this, we have passing JavaScript here. And I can say language as English, and that's it. I can save it. So now what it's happening in the back end is that it's adding this web resource to our Dataverse. And if I refresh it now out here on this particular screen, you should see that a web resource object will be created. So these are all objects, right? So web resource is created. Perfect. Now that I have created the object, I need to go into the table. I need to go into the events table. I need to go into the forms. And in the form, I want to go ahead and associate it to my main form. So what I want to do, I want to edit this form. And I want to associate my web resource first to the form, and then the web resource needs to be associated to an event. Okay, understand this. This is important. So here, my friends, on the left, you see JS. So JS means JavaScript. And here, my friend, I can add my alert resource. So let me just click here. Yeah, perfect. Cloud alert demo. This is good. I have added the web resource as a library. Now I want to associate it to an event. So I want to associate it to an event handler, and I want to go ahead and use it on load. So what is the name of our particular function? It's alert demo. I need to pass it the function name. And then, as I told you, the first parameter that needs to be passed is the execution context. And remember, very, very important. You need to pass in, you need to check this box. You can also pass in comma-separated parameters to this function. But for this demo, we will keep it simple because this is a beginner level session. So I'll just click on done. Right? So now my handler is associated. All I need to do, I need to go ahead and publish this form. So the publishing takes a little bit of time depending on the demo gods and the internet. It might take a little bit longer as well. But here is the gist of what I want to show you. Perfect. So the demo gods seem to be happy with us. So let me go back here. Let me do an inspect. And let me do an empty cache and hard reload. So let's clear the cache, right? Let me close the console. I do want the breakpoint to trigger. Perfect. So let's click on the M365 event. Okay, nothing worked. Okay, it worked. Something came up. And it tells me I have a script error. Okay, no problem. I can download the txt file out here. Come on, open. And it tells me it cannot treat a property null. Okay, let me read it again. And get value. Okay, get value is not working. So if I open my script out here, this is interesting. Get value, that means it's not able to find clav name. Why is it so? So let me go back into my solutions, click on done. I will go to columns, and here, my friends, I see I have passed in clav name. But understand this. This is important. And this is where sometimes you might get confused. You need to pass in the logical name. Okay? So you need to pass in the logical name. So let me go ahead and update the script. I can go ahead and update the script in my VS Code and then go ahead and put it in here. But don't worry, my friends. We don't want to do that. Okay? We don't want to do that. We can go ahead and update the script here itself within the browser. Right? So what I'll do, I'm in the classic view. I'll click on form properties. And I can go, yeah, if you see, this is the onload event. So I'll click on edit. And this is, in fact, I needed to click on edit library. So I'll click on edit library and I'll change this to clav_small name. So before I publish this, I also want to show you something else. There's another way that you can debug. Now, this error was straightforward. But if you're doing something very tricky, what you can do is you can go to the developer tools, you can go to source, you can click on Control P, and you can type in the name of the event, right? Or the name of the function. You see our function is here. This is good. Now, if I want to add a breakpoint, for example, I'll add 2 breakpoints, that is on form context and the event. And if at this point I click, you see that my breakpoint has been hit. So here, my friends, it seems that if I click on next out here, my form context is giving me the entire thing. So the form context actually tells me the name of the event, that's fine. It tells me global context and so on and so on. But here, my friends, this is not erroring. This is what I want to tell you, and this is what I want to show you, right? So if you look at the watch also, it's not giving me an error. So let me just look at this. So the watch is not, okay, the watch is already on the second part. But yeah, you get the gist, right? Now here itself in the watch, it tells me this is not available. Clav name is not available. So as soon as I hit this, here I get an error. So this is how you can debug your code directly from the browser as well. Our code was simple, easy, so we did not go into details, but understand this. You can add breakpoints, and you can also type in debugger in your JavaScript code, and that will be hit. So just like any other JavaScript, you can debug this. So now let's go back here. I guess I already made changes, so this is small. So I'll click on OK. And next, I'll click on Save, and then I can click on Publish. Isn't this awesome? I am just updating script in my browser. Now I can go back again. I'll do Control-Shift-R. That means empty cache and hard reload. And here, now, my friends, I get the correct value. The event is M365 event. Perfect. You have created your first form script. Congratulations, my friends. So let's take it a little bit forward. Okay, let's take it a little bit forward. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and create another event. So let's use our classic UI and let's update a JavaScript here. So what I can do is I can click on Add, and here I can click on New. So on the New button, I can give it a name. So let me just give some random names. So let's say display name, and I'll say display name. I'll just give it a number, 23. And I'll say Power Automate, right? Demo. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and call a Power Automate. Yes, my friends, directly from the form. And for this demo, I'm actually going to go ahead and copy in a function. The function is pretty straightforward, right? If you look at the function itself, it looks like this. I don't want to create errors, but yeah. So I'm passing the execution context. I'm getting the form context. Again, I have a typo in clav name. I needed to give it a logical name. But here, my friends, on this line, you see that I'm using new XML HTTP request. To this request, I'm passing in a URL. So from where did I get this URL would be the big question, right? So let me go into Power Automate. And let me click on My Flows. For this demo, I have already created this flow, but you can create a new flow. Let's create a new one, by the way. So let's say that I want to create an automated flow. Let's skip it. What I want to do is that I want to use an HTTP action, right? So a request, when a request comes in, and here I want to pass in a payload. Let's think of something easy out here. So what I want to do, that's my form. This is my form. I want to pass in the name of the event to Power Automate. Okay, you can pass in multiple things as well. So how will I pass it? This reads a JSON. So I can say name, and I can type in the name as well. Okay. And this looks good. So this is the payload, and this is how it will look. So name will be passed in. And next, I need to add an action because you cannot save a Power Automate with just a trigger. So I'll say compose, and I will actually give this in, I'll just pass in the whole body, and I'll say M365 demo, right? That's good. And now, once I click on save, it gives me a URL. So this is the URL that I'm going to write in here. So there's my prompt. So I'll change this URL to the newly URL that we have created, right? So this is our endpoint that we need to hit. So again, I need to be careful. So I'll just say double quotes and paste it in. Then I'm passing few parameters. I'm passing the name. Understand this. I'm passing the event name. And here, my friends, I'm doing a basic REST request. I'm telling to go ahead and post. So the method is post. I'm passing in the URL. And then I'm passing in the headers, such as content type and application JSON. And then I'm sending the request as a string. I'm sending parameters as a string, and then I'm going ahead and using XRM utility to alert. Rather than showing a browser alert, we can use the XRM API and show a good alert that would look good on your screen, right? So you can also think that we have covered XRM API to some extent. So I can click on OK. Now, once this is done, I can click on save. And I can, oh, no, don't delete. And I'll click on publish, right? Everything looks good till now, and I can close this. So now, I click on add. So I have Clavin display name. So now I'm going to load this on a different event. That is an on save event. So what I'll do, I'll click on the plus. And here, my friends, I'm going to give it the function name. So it was display 23, I guess, or it was display name itself. Yeah, it was display name. I'm going to pass in the execution context and click OK. Click on OK, and I'll click on save, and I'll then click on publish. Right? If I go back to Power Automate while this saves, let me actually pass in, rather than the body, let me pass in the name, and I'll click on save. Right? So we know that we are getting the right details from our form script. So here I'll again do a Control-Shift-R on this form. So it should first give us an alert. That looks good. And I'll say event 2022. And I'll click on save. So as soon as I click on save, now this is a bummer, there's an error. It says that params is not defined. So I can again go here into inspect. Right? I can click on source, just wait here, and I'll go ahead and type in what was the name of our code. So it was display 23, right? So this is what it is. So here I'll hit an endpoint here, and let's see. I'll click on save again. It hits here, so that's good. And next, what I want to do is I want to actually debug this. So let me go next, 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 next. Okay. So I see that I had an error out here. Params and param. Okay, so this is a silly mistake from me. So what I can do, I can quickly go back, go to form settings. And here on save, I need to be careful, on save, I can click on edit library. And was it on save? Did I update the wrong script? I don't understand this, so just wait. So I'll again go here. It should show me on save, right? Form, on save. Let me just delete this. Let me add my library again. I don't know why, so yeah. And it was display name. This is good, this is good. And here I can click on edit library. And here, my friends, I just need to put in params. And I'll click on OK. OK again, save it, and next I will publish it. Right, now it's published, so I can go back here and I should say Control-Shift-R. So the alert should work as expected. And now I can just say save. So yes, I did not get an error. It tells me that my flow is triggered. Let's see if the flow has triggered. So yes, my friends, the flow has also triggered. Yes, you have called a Power Automate from using form scripts. So I think this is pretty much it when it comes to form script. You have learned how you can create form scripts, how you can add form scripts, how you can edit form scripts, how you can debug form scripts, how you can call an external API directly from form scripts. I hope this session was beneficial. Thank you for your time. Have a great day and bye-bye.